Well, welcome to Bourbon Riders. In today's first pour series, we're going to crack open the 1792 single barrel. Now, I've just been sitting here enjoying the original 1792 small batch. And wondering, how is a single barrel better? I mean, the 1792 is a good bourbon. It's not one of my favorites, but it's a good bourbon. It's very smooth, it's sweet, it's very easy to drink. Just not a whole lot of complexity to it. Not a whole lot of depth. The flavor, simple. So, does the single barrel step up the game? You know, I've been trying to find the single barrel or the full proof or the sweet wheat for months now, probably going on 6-7 months. Whatever the reason is, I'm glad that 1792 got the single barrel to the stores, and hopefully that means sweet wheat, full proof, and any of the other varieties will be coming soon as well. So when we come back, we've set this up to try to not only do a first pour of the single barrel, but compare it to the original small batch and see what the differences are. So when we come back, we're going to see exactly whether I paid good money for this or not. So first up, let's see what kind of pop it's got. We took the wrapper off it, and I will tell you, do not let this lay over in anything, because I probably lost, I don't know, it was probably higher up in the neck there. I probably lost a good ounce of bourbon to a plastic sack because it laid over on me and I didn't realize that it actually could leak out. Nice vacuum there. It was a little bit loose in there, which explains why it might have leaked. But I did get a good vacuum, so I'm not repeating what happened to me with the Wyoming whiskey single barrel, which we don't want to talk about. So let's see what kind of gurgling we can get here. Really not much. It's pretty high in there. And that's a little bit more than I poured on the other ones. I wanted to get the small batch the same level as the single barrel so I could do a good comparison between the two. But we're going to do our standard first pour analysis. So let's see what the color looks like and the oil in the single barrel. Oh, it's a beautiful amber, and we've got some nice legs coming off of that, so fair amount of film on the glass. Very nice looking. All right, well, let's see what the nose thinks of it. I get a very nice aroma coming off the single barrel. Pretty fragrant. Now let's compare that to the small batch. Now the small batch has been open a while, so it would probably smell different anyways from a newly opened bottle. It has a very similar aroma, it's just not as pronounced as a single barrel. I say the single barrel is just right now stronger, and there could be a lot of reasons for that. So, well, let's go to taste, because that's what we're here for. Cheers. Get some nice baking spice right in the front. Some sweetness. Some fruit, maybe a little bit of cinnamon going on there with the baking spices. And I would say the fruit seems to be light to moderate, nothing dark. And the sweetness is moderate. It's not a real sweet bourbon. Let's take another sip. It's good. I can tell you, because I was just sipping on the small batch a few minutes ago, it definitely has more flavor, more punch to it. Let's go over to the small batch and See what we think. Does the flavor really drop when we drop down to the lower price? Cheers. I would tell you that it does. The small batch is not as sweet, the fruit isn't as pronounced, and I get more of an ethanol flavor from the small batch than I do the single barrel. So, you know, they always say there's single barrels will have different flavor profiles from barrel to barrel. Well, this is a different flavor profile from the small batch. You're definitely getting more flavor, more sweetness, less ethanol out of the single barrel. So let's take one more sip and I'll give you my final thoughts. Final thoughts. The question, the white elephant in the room, is obvious. Is the 1792 single barrel worth virtually twice the price of the small batch? My answer, in my opinion, is no. It is not worth twice the price. I would love to see the single barrel on the shelves available for $39.99, give or take. I think it's a good $40 bourbon. I think it's what $17.92 should be. So if you're going to offer a $26, $27 bourbon, offer the single barrel around $40. You're still making plenty of money, in my opinion, and it would go off the shelves. It would be a popular product. I can tell you, I have been to Total Wine at least 3 times in the last week looking for different products. And my first trip, I saw this and bought it right away. I thought, oh my God, it's not going to be here tomorrow. They had maybe 10 bottles out on top of a barrel and it'll be gone by tomorrow. The single barrel hasn't been in stores, at least in Total Wine, since late last year. Virtually the same amount of bottles, now given they're probably restocking them, is still out there. These are not going. These are not gone. And all the time I see where people like companies like Total Wine will say, oh, limit 1, limit 2, because they want to slow down to be able to give people access to that product. There is no limit that I see on that. I could buy 5 of these as I want to. I don't see that they're flying off the shelves in Total Wine. And I think that is because of the price and because the people know the $17.92 go like, I want to pay twice the price for a single barrel? No, I don't think so. I don't pay twice the price for a single barrel Buffalo Trace, and I bought one of those just today. I did not pay twice the price. So where does this fall into our recommendations, our 5-tier recommendations, 1 being the highest, 5 being the lowest? I will tell you, it is a 3. Wait for this to go on sale or shop around to get a price. I paid $51.99 for it. I don't think it's worth that much. Now, you may not find it less than that, and I've not seen it in any of my local bottle shops. I've only seen it in Total Wine. So you may be stuck with paying $51.99 if you want this single barrel. So that's up to you. I'm telling you, wait for it to go on sale or shop around because I think the price will drop. I just don't see the demand for the single barrel. It's good, but it's good at $40. So we hope you liked this video and you'll comment, share, and subscribe so we can bring you more content like this. And as always, please never drink and drive. Always drink responsibly and find you a good bourbon. See you next time.